Your Majesty!
What?
Captain John Cabot to see you.
Send him in!
The name is Giovanni. Giovanni Caboto.
What was that?
I tell him my name is Giovanni, not John.
Why in blazes did you call him John?
I have no idea, Your Majesty.
Oh, really? Then your name is Giovanni Cabot.
No, Your Majesty, it is Caboto.
Caboto.
Si, Caboto.
John Caboto?
Giovanni. Giovanni Caboto, Your Majesty.
How the hell did you get John Cabot out of that?
I have no idea, Your Majesty.
Never mind. Who is this other fellow?
Allow me to present...
I'm a Luigi, Your Majesty.
Yes, that's right. Luigi is the...
I'm the first mate. And I'm the best damn first mate in Venetian.
That's right. Luigi is the first mate, Your Majesty.
Yes, well. So it's Giovanni and Luigi. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's right, Your Majesty. And who, may I ask, is this angel?
Luigi.
It's okay, Giovanni. I think she likes me.
This is my attendant, Miranda.
My Miranda. It is certainly a pleasure. You hardly say a lady in a waiting, huh?
Luigi!
Let's hope you don't have to wait too long.
Luigi! Please excuse Luigi, Your Majesty.
Don't mention it, Captain. So, Luigi and Giovanni. Interesting. Do you mind if I call you John?
If it is easier for you, Majesty.
Yeah. So, why are you here, Captain John?
I require Your Majesty's assistance in a most important expedition. An expedition that will bring great riches and honor to Your Majesty.
Well, you're going to be a rich, Your Majesty.
Indeed, indeed. What sort of voyage are we talking about here, John?
I intend to sail to Cathy and Cipango.
And me too, huh?
Yes, that's right. I, with the crew of course, intend to sail to Cathy and Cipango to bring back spices.
And
Spices?
And the gold too, huh? The gold.
Yes, gold too, Your Majesty.
What sort of spices are we talking about here, John?
Oh, pepper.
I'm not crazy about the pepper, John.
What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you he ain't gonna go for the pepper? See, I don't like a pepper neither. Gives me hives on my bottom.
That's enough, Luigi! I mean, that's enough, Luigi. I'm sure His Majesty's not interested in your medical history.
Well, I'm all up better now, huh? Just as healthy as a horse.
Hives, eh? Yes, I said hives, eh? Yeah. Forget the pepper, John. What else?
Cloves.
Cloves.
And ginger.
Ginger. What else?
And, cinnamon.
Did you say cinnamon?
See, yes, Your Majesty, cinnamon.
Did you hear that?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Now you're talking, John. I love cinnamon. God, how I love cinnamon. Buns. Oh, cinnamon. Do you think they'll have any in this place you're going, John? You don't mind if I call you John, do you? Oh, this, Captain, that is rather tedious, don't you think?
If you say so, Your Majesty.
So, do you think they will, John?
Will what, Your Majesty?
Have cinnamon buns, John! Cinnamon buns!
Yes, I expect they might.
Damn civilized, Johnny! Damn civilized! You don't mind if I call you Johnny, do you?
You could have called me a Luigi, Your Majesty, huh?
Well,
no, Your Majesty, if it is easier for you.
damn civilized, Johnny! Damn civilized. Methinks this cafe is a place I'd like to visit. Of course, I'd never find the time. And then there's the Spanish. They just love to come across me sailing down the coast of Africa. They'd probably misinterpret the whole thing and we'd wind up in some bloody cinnamon war or something.
I'm sure Your Majesty is much too important to take on such a risky adventure. That is why I will bring the spices back to you.
Yes, of course! You're dead on that one, Johnny. Dead on! But, that does touch upon a salient point, don't you think? The Spanish, or Portuguese for that matter, may not think too kindly of any English ship trading along that route.
Precisely, Your Majesty. That is why I do not intend to take that route.
What's that?
I do not intend to take that route, Your Majesty. I intend to sail to the west.
Sail to the west.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Now, forgive me, Johnny, if my geography is just a tad on the rusty side, but isn't Cathay to the east?
Yes, Your Majesty. But I intend to reach the east by sailing to the west.
Reach the east by sailing to the west.
Yes, Your Majesty.
The east by sailing west.
See, Your Majesty, yes?
See, yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, now I know why your name sounds familiar. You're that Venetian that sailed out to some island and brought the Isabella back that bunch of savages. I'll bet she loved that. But I don't recall hearing anything about spices, John.
No, Your Majesty. That was Cologne.
Cologne? We didn't discuss anything about cologne. It's not cologne we want, John, it's spices! Spices!
No, Your Majesty. I refer to Cristobal Cologne.
Cristobal Cologne? That doesn't ring a bell.
He means Christopher Columbus, Your Majesty.
Yes, that was it. Christopher Columbus.
Yes, that's right, sir.
Yes, that's it. But you call him Cristobal Cologne?
That is how I have known him, Your Majesty.
Oh. Then how the hell did we get Christopher Columbus? Wait, never mind. No. Let's just call him Chris, for argument's sake. Yes? Good? Yes, fine. So, you share the same opinion as this Chris fellow, that you can reach the east by sailing to the west?
Yes, Your Majesty. Well, I'm not afraid of sailing out the edges, that's what you think. Because, unlike the rest of the explorers, I feel the world is round.
Ah, she's a rounder like a ball, eh?
Round like a ball, eh?
She's a rounder like the moon, the mother of a Jew.
I have seen the shadow of the earth upon the moon.
And?
It is curved like the moon itself.
She's got the curves, all right.
That'll be fine, Luigi.
Like the moon.
Yes, very well. I get the point. So, what is you want from the King of England?
Sponsorship.
Sponsorship?
See, Your Majesty. Ships, supplies, men.
Wait a second, Johnny. That costs money. Lots and lots of money. I can't afford that. Particularly now. Now, don't get me wrong here now. Particularly when we're not even guaranteed to see one blessed cinnamon bar. I mean, you're talking about the moon and the ocean, and I don't know. Well, then there's the Spanish. If Isabella owns this island, or whatever Cologne found there, and then she hears that I'm sponsoring you to sail out, well, you can see how that will get a little hairy, won't you? Don't you, John? I don't know about this.
Just a minute, Giovanni. Perhaps His Majesty would like to think for a few minutes. And what a better way to think than to listen to my beautiful music.
I don't know, Luigi.
It's okay, Giovanni, if I may, Your Majesty.
Yes.
Like I had told you, huh? Oh, let's do it like I had told you. We will sail to the western in search of adventure and glory. We will seek out the gold and the spices foretold by Signore. We will challenge the sea and the hardships that be mandatory. But wherever we roam, we'll be thinking of home and amore. In perpetual motion, we'll toss on the ocean of shore. With storms and bad food, where a net makes a crude lavatory. In the name of the king, we will risk everything we adore. To claim Newfoundland before vile Spanish hands touch their shore. If the will sail to the western in search of adventure and glory. We will seek out the gold and the spices foretold by the Signore. We will challenge the sea and the hardships that be mandatory. But wherever we roam, we'll be thinking of a home and amore.
Yes, bravo, Luigi. Yes. But I'm afraid I still haven't changed my mind.
Then Your Majesty wishes to allow the Spanish to control all the trade?
Now, hey there, I didn't say that. No, I definitely don't think I said that.
I don't think he said that, Giovanni.
No, I don't think I said that. No, I don't think I said that.
I don't think he
Okay, Luigi. Please excuse me, Your Majesty.
Sir, what is it you want?
I would like Your Majesty to supply 3 ships with crews and enough supplies to last a 6-month voyage. Pardon, Majesty?
That's a lot of cash, Johnny.
But think of the great profits from the trade and the gold and the cinnamon buns.
Damn, you do talk a good story, Johnny. Damn, you do talk a good story. So, what do you bring to the table?
Pardon, Majesty?
What do you bring to the table? Why should I sponsor you and not someone else? Say, an Englishman, perhaps?
I see. Your Majesty, what I bring to the table is my ability and my desire to accomplish the task.
Anything else?
And the best damn first mate in Venetia, huh?
I also have the backing of several English merchants in Bristol.
What sort of backing?
They provided me with 1 small ship and a crew of 18 men.
Well, there you go. You've got your ship and crew. What's holding you back there?
It is a treacherous voyage, Your Majesty, into unknown waters. I'd kind of like to have more than 1 ship.
Johnny, I'd love to help you. I'd really love to help you. But sorry, no dice. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, Your Majesty. I believe there is.
Fire away.
I call for the Giovanni, huh?
Yes. If we do discover new lands, we will naturally claim them in the name of the King.
Of?
England, of course.
Of course.
And that's gotta be worth something to you.
You've got a point.
Well, how's this, Your Majesty? What if me, and my English sponsors,
Of course.
were granted by Your Majesty
Go on.
a monopoly on all trade with the new lands?
A monopoly?
See?
A monopoly?
See?
A monopoly? That's it?
See?
Johnny? I think we've got ourselves a deal!
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You want to be sorry, Your Majesty. You want to be sorry.
Your Majesty!
What?
John Cabot, you see.
John who?
John Cabot, Your Majesty, also known as Giovanni Caboto.
Oh, yes, I remember now. About 3 months ago, wasn't it? The fellow who wanted sponsorship so that he could sail west to reach the east. What did we give him?
Nothing, Your Majesty.
Good! Then what in blazes does he want now?
I believe he has completed his expedition, Your Majesty, and wishes to report his results to you.
He has? Send him in! Send him in! Indeed.
Presenting Captain John Giovanni Caboto, and of course, Luigi.
Welcome, Captain John, and welcome to you too, Luigi.
It's so nice to see you again, Your Majesty, and it's especially nice to see you, Miranda, my angel of England.
He hasn't changed much, has he?
No, Your Majesty. It is a pleasure to meet with you again, Your Majesty.
Yes, my herald informs me that you have completed your journey, and no worse for wear to look at you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. It was a treacherous voyage, but we made it safely, and I believe Your Majesty will agree successfully.
I'm all ears, Captain. Tell me of your journey.
See, Majesty, we departed Bristol on May 2nd. Although we seemed to fight an east-flowing current, we made steady progress for several weeks. Then, early one morning, we saw strange and wondrous vision. At first, it seemed to be a small island in the dim light, but as the sun surfaced, it turned a ghostly white, and many of the crew, with the notable exception of Luigi, became terror-stricken. One man was taken by such panic that he screamed the devil had finally come for him, and had to be restrained from drowning himself.
He was a Methodist guy. You should have seen him. He was a screaming and a
Okay, Luigi. But as we drew closer, it took on a more beauteous appearance, and then we saw it was ice, a mountain of ice.
Yes, go on.
Well, that night I doubled the watch in case one man might fall asleep, and I ordered Luigi to run random checks.
Hey, that's my idea, huh?
At Luigi's suggestion, I ordered Luigi to run random checks.
That's right, Giovanni.
If I may continue.
Go for it, Giovanni.
Even with these precautions, I did not sleep soundly. And on the second night after the first meeting with this ice mountain, we were jolted awake by what seemed to be a very unnatural movement of the ship. I ran straight to the bridge, expecting to face one of these ice mountains. But when I got there, I saw nothing. Finally, I saw the head of the first mate, Luigi here, rise up and signal me to come forward.
You should have seen his face. It was as white as a shit.
What?
A shit.
He means a shit! I mean a sheet, Your Majesty. If I may continue.
Go for it, Giovanni.
As I approached, I saw the two watchmen and Luigi staring over the side into the sea. The ship shook again, and strangely seemed to be moving sideways against the current. What is it? I screamed, fearing we'd run aground.
It was a fish!
A what?
A fish!
What? Fish! It was fish, Your Majesty. Astonishingly, we seemed to be grounded on a shoal of codfish.
I've never seen so many fish!
And the next day, the crew feasted on fresh codfish that they gathered by mere lowering of baskets over the side. And the next day, we sighted land.
Land! You found land! Cathy! Was it Cathy?
No, Your Majesty. I do not believe we've reached Cathay proper. But we may be close.
Close! How close?
I cannot rightly say, Majesty. With one small ship, I could not explore adequately. But we did seem to sail past 1,000 miles of coastline.
1,000 miles? 1,000 miles? Good God, man, you've discovered a new country!
Yes, Your Majesty, I believe it is so. And now some gifts from the new land we have found.
A new land you have found? Oh, no. We'll have to do better than that.
Of course, it's Your Majesty's right to choose a name.
Yes, I'm thinking. New Jersey? No, Henry Land. New land found. I've got it! Newfoundland!
She's a Newfoundland.
Yes, that sounds good, Your Majesty.
It's got a ring to it. Fountain. Yes, I like that. But did I hear you mention something of gifts, Captain?
Yes, Your Majesty, I may.
Oh, yes. Fountain. What is it?
I have no idea.
It's a fish!
A what? A fish, Your Majesty. Codfish, to be more precise.
Codfish?
See, Majesty, a most delectable delicacy from the Newfoundland.
Really? Let me taste it.
Oh, this one is raw, Your Majesty. But just a minute. Try this, Your Majesty. there's plenty more where that came from.
I like this, Johnny. I like it a lot. What else have you got?
Well, we do have other surprises, Your Majesty, but I fear that may be getting ahead of myself. After we'd sighted land, I approached it carefully to avoid the many sunken reefs. Finally, we found a sheltered cove where we ran ashore and replenished our strength on trout and rabbit. We set sail again in hopes of finding evidence of habitation. 2 days later, we saw a sign.
A sign?
Yes, Your Majesty. We saw an unmistakable sign.
It was a smoke! I seen the smoke! At first I thought it was a fire, but as we got closer I knew, and I got to Giovanni, and Giovanni came running so fast he forgot to put on his pants.
That will be fine, Luigi.
You should have seen his face!
That will be fine, Luigi. Alas, if I may continue.
Go on, Giovanni!
Yes, upon seeing several distinct columns of smoke rising from the far side of the next headland, I felt the success of the mission was assured. But being unfamiliar with the natives, I took a very cautious approach. We lay anchor about half a mile east of the next headland, and I sent Luigi and 2 of the crew ahead to scout. I gave them explicit instructions not to approach or to converse with the natives, but to merely observe them above the hills, in the hills above the hillside. This expedition, I figured, would consume about an hour, perhaps 2 at the outside.
It's not a lot of the time, Giovanni.
When 3 hours had passed, I naturally became concerned. With 5 hours past, and the light growing dim, I resolved to send a second party to find the first. But, alas, as they prepared to depart, torches appeared on the hillside.
Good heavens!
Well, that was my reaction to Your Majesty. But, to my surprise, it was the scouting party finally returned.
Ah, it was me and the boys, huh?
Yes, it seemed that they had completed their expedition within the given hour. But upon leaving cover of the forest to return, they were stopped by maids and prevented from returning.
Prevented from returning by maids? What kind of maids were they? Were they armed?
That was my reaction to Your Majesty. But alas, these maids did not need any weapons.
They were that strong they did not need weapons? What kind of maids were they?
Quite ordinary maids, Your Majesty. But they seemed to exert power over my men.
What did you expect, Giovanni? We've been at sea for 7 weeks, huh?
That had been at sea for 7 weeks, as Luigi has so candidly informed us.
They were friendly then.
Oh, quite the friendly, Your Majesty. Oh, they insisted that we return to the village for a scoffer, huh?
You had to go back to the village for that?
Oh, but of course, Your Majesty, huh?
My God, what's the world coming to? In my day, we weren't that prudish. We just...
No, Your Majesty. What Luigi means is a scoff.
A scoff!
A scoff.
Yes, Your Majesty. Scoff is their word for dinner.
Oh. Scoff, eh? As good as any, I suppose.
Yes, these natives possess a colorful language that some of my crew have come to speak rather passively.
You've come to learn it by such short encounter. That's commendable.
Well, they have had several weeks' exposure, as we have brought some of these natives back to Newfoundland. Back to it.
From Newfoundland.
From Newfoundland.
I'd love to see them.
With Your Majesty's permission.
Yes, good show, good show.
Go for it, Giovanni!
What was that? Don't fear, Your Majesty. That is a friendly gesture. Really.
Does he speak English?
Yes, or a variation of it, seems.
What's his name?
It's Jack, Your Majesty.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, seeing and Connie.
Roughly translated, it means, how are you doing? Or how is life treating you? Friend?
I'm fine. How are you, friend?
Oh, I'm the finest kind, but what a lovely house you got here, my son.
Oh, I think I understood that.
Yeah, right, yeah, you probably learned quick, I see.
Amazing. His English seems to be improving by the second.
Oh, I can talk as good as any, my son. I can sing too. I can dance like a song.
Yes, they're very fond of song and dance, much like my own countrymen. We had a lovely time on the way back from the Newfoundland.
What do you call me, old?
I have named it the Newfoundland.
Now, Cathy, I don't mind your naming her, and I don't mind you claiming her, but if you're gonna say her, you better say her right.
I see. How should I say it then?
What you say, the name should roll out of the tongue in the right way. Understand?
Go on.
This Newfoundland boy. Understand? This Newfoundland. Oh, jingers. I could make a song out of that. But if you ever come to Newfoundland, there is one thing you must understand. The sound is like the native tongue. You need to focus on the fun. Now, take the fun at a Newfoundland. To find out you where things stand. Well, they'll know you if you work so grand. But don't you take the fun at a Newfoundland. Well, if you come here from a Newfoundland, the city or from Disneyland, you drink all brew or contraband. But don't take the fun at a Newfoundland. Hear me talk real fast or talk real slow. Articulate fortissimo. And you will say snail or escargot. But there's one thing you better know. Now, take the fun at a Newfoundland. To find out you every day you stand. Well, they'll know you if you work so grand. Why don't you take the fun at a Newfoundland? You may roll your R's and Scottish roll, slide your shell like the French solo, and drag your ass like a Texas drawl. It's up to you if you say you all. I'm on the fun at a Newfoundland. To find out you every day you stand. Well, we know you if you work so hard. Why don't you take the fun at a Newfoundland?
Yes, Your Majesty. They seem to be full of surprises.
You got that right, son. Now we got some more surprises for you. I like you to meet the wife, son.
Hooray, me donkey!
Wait, stop! What are those?
This bonds, sire, it's just bonds.
What's wrong with you, boy? There's only buns.
What's wrong with you, boy? Huh? 'Tis only buns, huh?
A cinnamon buns, Your Majesty. A gift of friendship.
Cinnamon buns. God, we'll eat like kings. Of course, that's only fitting, being a king and all. This is a great day, the greatest of days. Your name, Giovanni Caboto, kinsman of the kinsman of your people, and loyal servant of England, shall be remembered for hundreds of years. And this day shall be remembered for hundreds of generations. For you have truly discovered a Newfoundland and a great and noble civilization. Let the celebrations begin!
Yes!
Woo!
Go for it, Giovanni.
Come on, woohoo!